like DJI software, with the telos, that comes with a whole curriculum. So we're kind of using that just to kind of like introduce them to the concepts of like flying and aviation. But we're trying to get them to FPV because we know this requires a high skill set. If they can fly FPV, they can do kind of anything. So opposed to like starting them out with a GPS drone, we want to start them out building their own, bills, flying their own bills to really get immersed into field. So, that's our goal for the younger kids. These are like middle school age kids, like fifth, sixth graders and up.
Okay, okay, okay. Well, first, I'll tell you a little bit about me, and what I do. Um, First of all, my name is Jose. I'm an engineer. I just graduated, about 2, 3 years ago from Virginia State University, and I did graduate as a mechanical engineer. And once I was about to graduate, I saw my first, like, not saw, but I really got into FPV. Like, I was around to like hear about the system that was around like 2018. Um, and yeah, I was flying traditional drones before, and when once I pulled those goggles on and I saw like what was actually FPV, I just decided to stop flying traditional drones. Just decided like keep all my time to straight FPV. And since 2000, I would say since 2018, 2019, I'll be fully um putting all the hours, all the energy into FPV. I learned how to like design my own frames, carbon fiber sheets. I cut them on my own print. I also like build the drone from scratch all the way from the frame, carbon fiber for the motors, for the the ESC, the flight control, the GPS, buzzer. I also program them. I also tune them on with a black box login. I use a professional pit tuning, and I started with what everybody knows, which is the 3 5 inches, which is like the basic FPV drones. And
Right.
about 2 years ago, I was doing a job for a big client, and he kind of like told me like, oh, I'm sorry, I cannot take this footage for my video because he was out of a GoPro. Like, like that's why FPV was like kind of famous. He was all the footage came out of a GoPro. And he was like, I do shoot with like cinema cameras, a little more high resolutions. And he kind of like hit me because like I wanted to get to that industry, to like the big industry. So I started like learning how to like build those drones to be able to put those cinema cameras on top of that. So it was no more GoPro anymore. He was, he's like the big leagues in other words. So
So
I
so let me
start that's what I've been doing.
let me break that down for folks. For people who may not be used to like, the drone world, right? So basically you had did your own builds, right? You were putting the GoPros on like most people do when they first start out. And then you start getting like real professional work in the industry, maybe the movie industry or videos. They start saying, hey, we want those big cinema cameras on your drone, which require you to have to go back and do another build to suit the type of cameras that they use for their footage, correct?
Exactly, exactly. I had to go back to the bench and I have to build a drone that was capable of lift that amount of weight because it was a lot of more grams than like a traditional GoPro. And I start doing that. I start building what they call it. They call it signal lifters. Usually like A motors. One motors one on top of the other ones. And yeah, they do lift cinema cameras. And about I would say 7 months ago, I start taking apart the cinema cameras, like
Yeah.
what they call the Black Magic Pocket. I start decasing and taking it completely apart, and I only use the sensor, which is that show the video connect to the lens, and I choose the main board camera, and I power it directly with the drone, and I use the BEC to control the voltage, so I don't burn it and everything. So yeah, so that saved me um a lot of more like you see, let's see, like a lot of more weight, so my drone performs a lot better, and I got more battery time, and like it's way more safety for when we go on set. I can put it in small drones, flying try, and yeah, that's pretty much where what I am right now with my company, and just still like sometimes it goes and up and down, but yeah, FPV, I would say it's going to be one of the the top technologies out there, not only for filming industry, just for safety. I would say if there's something going on with the police and they need to go inside somewhere, it's rather to send an FPV drone inside the facility or to see what's going on other than a person. I just think like there's a lot of potential behind FPV.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. You said that I'm working with a security firm now, and we're trying to teach their security officers how to one become remote pilots, but also to fly LPV because it's the same situation, right? If you're going into like a big building, you're not going to have a GPS signal. So, like, they need to have the ability from an FPV standpoint to fly the drone to kind of like see around corners what's going on. If there's an intruder, like which direction they're running into, so they can have like that perimeter of security. So, I definitely hear what you're talking about. Let me ask you a question because I know you got an engineer background. You went to college for being an engineer. Do you have to be an engineer to build an LPV drone? Can any kid like pick this up and learn it, or do they need to have an engineering background to be really good at it?
I would say no. You don't need to have the engineering background to be able to build an FPV drone, but it does help a lot when it comes the time for design. When you probably have to design the 3D parts where the GoPro is gonna be attached to. If you want to get like you don't want to buy it from the people, you want to design yourself. So that's where engineer comes a little bit. But building the drone itself, I would say it sounds kind of bad, but there's a lot of people learning out of YouTube. Like you just
Yeah,
go like learn how to build a drone on YouTube. But personal there's so much information on YouTube, so much like different type of like because FPV has how can I say like I have a lot of different experience on all the pilots. Let's see, the way I build my drones, I probably give me more signal than them,
right.
because I have probably test different environments and them, and and I have my own for my since 2018. I have my own the way I build them, the way like I program the frequency I be using and everything, the way I set up the antennas, like how much solder I put on it, everything like the spike solder, what else I put on it to avoid just to make all the current, to make all the voltage, everything really really smooth on the drone because you're flying. Let's see if I build a signal lifter with a $10,000 camera on it. I gotta make sure that drone is not gonna fall out of the sky. And
Right.
you have to test them and actually test them like hard. What way I do, I test them hard. I throw in on my 3D printer, what they call it is a dummy Komodo. Like the camera itself it's made by a 3D, and you just fill it up inside with sand or like coins, whatever, and give it the
Give it
same
that
weight
weight.
as yeah. And that's how I tune them. So I put that camera in the drone in case like one of the motors like fall or something, the drone fall out of the sky. I don't damage the actually camera. That's a tip I do too when I build them. But yeah, actually answering your question, yeah, you don't need like an engineering background, but it does help you and it push you like to like more levels to understand like the basic and theory, like to talk about it and like in my case right now, in my community, like at least on Latin America right now, I'm one of the leaders right now, helping a lot of people in the industry, and
Oh wow.
and they yeah they're not like they're not engineer and everything, and I have been able to teach them how to actually like learn the system like they were engineers because like I actually like tell them like it was me. And for one of them is he's called Joe Hero. He's like the number one FPV pilot in Dominican Republic. I built the drones for him. He shoot for Netflix. He shoot for the movie The All on Netflix. He shot for one of my drones I built from him. And yeah, I, I haven't mentioned to you. I do have a course. I have a course that I built and how to um how to build the FPV drone. I have it already like recorded and everything. It's about to launch soon. So I just wanted
Oh,
to
is that
mention
your
that
academy?
to you
Is
also.
that the academy you were telling me that you're
Mm-hmm.
designing? The FPV Academy? Okay, so it's going to walk
Yes.
them
Yes.
through A to Z, buying the frame, buying the motors. It's going to take them from step one to the finish line.
Mm. Yeah, it's gonna be like from which type of frame you should buy for what kind of job you want to do. You want a racing, so you want cinematics, you just want freestyle. Um, it's gonna be basic in in some aspects because I won't be putting how to decays of black magic and all that.
Right.
Mentioning about it, I just want to show you how this is a black magic right here.
Uh-huh.
I don't know
Mm.
if you can see it.
Yeah.
You see it? It's like
Yeah.
completely
I'm saying it's
decays.
good. Yeah. It's coming in good.
Yeah, this is the screen right here to get apart.
Yeah.
This is all these carbon fiber. But yeah, actually these are the drones I have right here. I was doing that.
Okay.
So you see this is the GoPro.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see it well. I'm
Oh,
sorry,
yeah,
it's
I
like
can
kind
see.
of
I
like
see the carbon fiber body on it. Like you got some
yeah,
different type of
it's
blades on there. Are those metal or plastic? Oh, they're
the what?
plastic. The blade, your
No,
blade.
yeah. Oh yeah, they plastic. They PLA, I believe. I forget the material to be honest. But yeah, they
Yeah.
plastic. They pretty a lot more strong the DJI ones because it's a FPV. But yeah, I do still use I know you mentioned DJI. I do still use DJI FPV. That's the system that I work with.
Let me ask you a question,
It
Jose,
brought
let me ask you a question for the kids, the young people trying to get into this. And you don't have to talk about
oh
your
yeah, go.
rates, your numbers, but what can like a young person expect to how much money can they expect to make if they get into FPV, shooting for Netflix, shooting for videos or shooting for films? Like what's kind of like the average rate they can expect once they become good at flying and good at building their own drone?
Well, I will mention the way I see this, and it's kind of like different. The way I see FPV pilots, it's there are like artists. So when
Yeah,
you're gonna hire them, you're gonna sell your art because it's not the
yeah,
same as a traditional drone pilot where you go to Best Buy, you buy your drone, and you go home with the drone. Like you flying a drone, which is built by another company. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to explain.
yeah,
This
exactly.
drone is it's made and it's built by the engineer, if you're an engineer or the pilot. He put efforts on that build, probably designed the entire frame. So the video that you're about to get, it comes from a drone that it comes from that artist. So
Yeah,
before I used to just $100 and I'm okay with with the job. But now after I put so much hours flying and so much effort like building them on it, and I spoke with the community, I would say the starting price right now for the starting date on FPV is around $1,300 for GoPros. For GoPro starting date is $1,300. If you want signal lifters, which is the one with the red Komodos or black magics, you start around 3,500.
hmm
That's my price and my pilots and the community that I'm around with. There is another level on top of that, which it's the gimbal the videographer use.
yes,
They put in on drones now. which is called they call it signal lifter with a dual operator. So you have like all the two pilots, one control the FPV drone, and the other
Mhm.
one controls the gimbal. So that job obviously goes, you know, a little up. So my like the people that I know in the community, and I don't have that drone yet, but I will have in couple months. I will start around 7,000 for shot per day for that, because they usually people that hire you for that drone, it's like movies, like big commercials. You're not gonna show the video for that, maybe for like some small businesses.
So to get that rate, you don't necessarily have to go to college to get that. You just have to be a great pilot and be a great builder of the drone to get into that field to get those type of rates.
Yeah, yeah. You probably just have to put your work in, get your hours, you know, and probably build your community a little bit. You have some respect like from people in the industry, because once you they see the way you're flying, they see the way every FPV pilot fly your style, you just become like unique, and that's where you sell the art. The other type of drones is usually going to be the same type of movement because this
Right.
already has it already has a programmation on it. So you're fighting with a lot of like all the pilots, which I don't have no hate on traditional drones. I do own traditional drones. I have like two or three of those, and I just go
Yeah,
with my girlfriend. We fly, we have fun. But in the way when I see the industry, I see like FPV is good. You always take like you always take a little step farther.
man. Let me switch it a little bit. Tell the folks like what was your worst crash as a drone pilot? It could have been like a month ago, years ago. Like what do you remember as your like the worst crash you ever had with your drone?
I will tell you four of them, and four of them, three of them, it was because I was being responsible, and you learn for those ones too.
Yeah,
Um, I was at 2020. I was at the beach, and there were skydiving. People were like doing skydiving at the beach with the motor in the back. They go
yeah.
like flying around. So I got really hyped, and I got really desperate, and I had like my buddies around, and I wanted to show up a little bit, and I didn't put antenna on the controller. I
Uh,
sent the FPV drone, and right when it got on top of the water, dude, just disconnect.
wow.
And by that time, I didn't have like rescue mode set up. I was like kind of like reckless. I just wanted, fly FPV.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was one that was one crash I had. I was at the beach. Other one were mountains. I lost two drones on mountains. I got too hype, like it was a good shot, and I was feeling myself just diving
Yeah.
on mountain really bad, and I got too
Yeah.
hype, and I just went behind a reef that I was not supposed to, and boop, just black out my fools, and no rescue mode either. Lost that one, and I lost another one at the beach too, because um I didn't by then I didn't waterproof. So I was flying really near the water at the beach, and a wave hit it a little bit, and you just disconnect and you just fall in the water. But now I built all my drones completely waterproof. They actually can go under the water and still fly back to the air. And
So
yeah, that's
let me
that's
ask you,
another thing about yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I was going to ask you because it seems like you've done a lot of destination shots. So like, where has the drone taken you travel wise since you started flying LPV? Like, have you been to different countries flying, different coasts and within the United States?
Well,
Where
to
has this
to be
experience
honest,
taken you?
that's one of my goals. I want to do travel. I want to do film travel. I just had a kid like a month ago, but that's what was my dream. I wanted like I want to go to Bali. I want to go to Norway, like Swiss. I want to fly. I want to bring my art out there. I want
Yeah.
to be able to bring my little birds. And bring like 4, 6, 7 drones out there. The Komodos, see the lifters. be able to have nice content coming back to my country. That's really one of my goals. Sometimes, to be honest, sometimes I see there's way more money like doing that type of thing. Like being you, like you on your own. First, don't trying to reach out to so many people. Just creating your own community, just posting, just going out yourself, and you going to bring like real clients. You put a price to
Yes.
your art, and you start posting, and someone will come to you. I want that video for my business, for my page, and you
Yeah.
just this is my art, and you just that's the way I started running. I'll be honest, I started, you know, taking like whatever jobs around, and he
That's
kind
every
of like
drone
messed
pilot,
me
man.
up.
It's every drone pilot. When you first start, you want to get money as soon as possible, right? You want to get money for your skill set, so you take whatever $100 real estate job or whatever's out there just to get money, and then you start realizing that you're a creative. Like you said, you're creative, you're an artist. Then you start charging more for your art and your time because there's only one Jose. There's not another one. There's only one person that flies like you. There's not another person that flies like you. So it's a very unique skill set that
Mhm.
you should always monetize, especially with a kiddo on the way. It's a different ball game now. So, you definitely have to put that at the forefront.
Like an example, right now you're talking about the kids. You said they're around middle school. I was like 12 years old, 12,
Yeah.
14. So
Uh-huh.
I have a pilot. He's a friend. His name is Pablo. He lives in Spain. He's like 16 years old, about to be 17 years old. He's really famous right now, on the FPV community. He be flying around from he's like 12, about 5, 7 years or something like that. And he does with the things with FPV. It's like you have so many companies out there looking for partnership. Like be willing to, if you know how to build, if you know how to like do your own thing. There's companies out there be willing to partner with you, and they send you like free motors, affiliate links and all of that.
Mhm.
And that guy, he's living good economically right now because of FPV, and he's about to go now to the university. He's about to go to university to do engineering, and he's about to become one of the best pilots in the world right now because he did build that science. And he was it's
Let
and
me ask
he
you.
is right now with 16 years old, 17 years he just got his license. He's already about to start shooting videos for Netflix, and he's still in high school.
So he's shooting videos for Netflix now at 16, and he
Yeah,
got colleges trying to recruit him.
it's 2023. He has his first Netflix job set up. Yeah,
Wow.
it's really awesome.
So let me ask you this: for the kids who are trying to work for Netflix, like, what do they have to do to get into Netflix? Do they need to just post videos to their social media feeds to kind of get on? Do they need to like tag people on LinkedIn? Like, what would be the process? Like, assuming that they know how to fly, assuming they have the skill set, how would they make that connection to like the Netflixes of the world?
Well, I probably won't be, to be honest, the right person to ask that question because I'm pushing myself really hard to get into that industry. But I would say hard work, and try to contact like those tribal directors, like try to not contact them, but be around what they do. What I'm trying to say, trying to reach the email,
Yeah.
say, look, I'm trying to, like, try to have some type of communication. So when you get the chance, when probably there's no other pilots around, you're probably the only pilot at this time. So all right, let me call this dude. When you have your chance and they open those doors for you, I mean, you have to grind. You have to do your best. Probably not like not being in safety, but you have to like show up that what you capable to do. Have great communication. I would say that's the main key in the industry right now where every pilot doesn't have. when you go on set, that you are around the directors, the big people, you start
Mm.
shaking, you start getting like all nervous, and that's
Yeah,
the time when you have to grind. That's the time when you have to show this is what I do. I'm built for this. And
yeah.
and that's where you like different yourself from the rest of the people. So I would say when you have the chance, it's a process, it's a process. You won't start going left definitely the first year of FPV probably, but if you keep flying, you keep putting your effort on, you have the community seeing that, oh, this guy be like a couple years, spending a lot of money, a lot of time on it. He needs the chance to like it's time for him to, shine. And I would say after putting a lot of work on it, you're gonna get your chance. And after you get your chance, you gotta grind.
So, Jose, what's your proudest job that you're the most proud of that you've ever done in your career? What is your highlight of your career so far?
Um, I have a design. I have a design.
Hmm.
It's not public yet, but in the community, the FPV community, it's one of my best like design a drone. I'm part of the 4.4 beta flight team, the one that built the new the beta flight is the configurator used to tune and like so I did help the community of beta flight to like improve all the bugs and everything for the 4.3 and that's related to like the hardware, software, and everything related to the engineer. But other than related to the jobs that I have done, um, I'm really like I have done a lot of jobs for artists back in my country. I left my
Yeah,
country when I was around 16 years old, and I did
yeah,
like listen to that music. They like motivate me through my college and all of that. And it
yeah.
was really like a big part for me coming after I graduated, going back to my country and like give them the art for them for a couple artists that I used to like listen to them. So that's probably one of my the most jobs that I have done that I'm really proud of and I'm really good for it.
You know, Jose, I want to talk about beta flight. And I know you're an engineer, so you're the perfect person to ask this. You know, most kids, especially like middle school age, they just want to fly. They want to have fun, right? They want to, get the drone out of the box or build it, fly it. They don't kind of, care for, beta flight. How important is beta flight to the LPV world? And what are some of the skills can they learn by really diving into beta flight and learning how to utilize the software?
Well, Betafly at this point, when compared to when I started, Betafly at this point is somewhat sophisticated to the point where when you barely have to code, like I would say you don't have to code at all, like at all. Do you have like sections where you talk about motors, like with the receiver, it's pretty like simple, like pretty simple label up. So after you probably get like a good tutoring, the basics, the basics that you have to do to be able to check your drone before you put the propellers on, make sure like all four motors are tuning the right direction, like make sure like it's not smoking, all of that. And but pretty much Betafly, it's really simple. I would say for the middle school student, it will be a pretty simple program to learn since you don't have to code. There's a side where it's a export mode. Like
Yeah,
it opens a export mode side, which you do probably need to have like a little more gotta get a little more deep into it. But the normal Betafly side, it's pretty simple. Calibrate your drone, motor, receiver. Like it's pretty simple. There's a side where I solder I soldered this GPS in this pad. The pad is number one. So okay, I gotta put in this. This is number one. It's pretty simple. So when it gets complicated, it's I would say the Betafly, all the stock settings for Betafly, it will automatically put you in the air. Like it puts you in the air, you will fly your drone. Great.
hmm,
You will not see difference between a tuned drone and a drone with stock beta flight settings, if you get what I'm saying, since you're like new.
yeah,
And so yeah, so Butterfly very simple to learn for the kids, for pretty much for everyone. If you want to get expert mode and do the tuning, the pit tuning, black box and all that, that's the other level. But for the basics, Butterfly stock settings, it's pretty simple to get you in fly.
So look, Jose, man, I really appreciate you like, hopping on, answering these questions. Man, where can people like find your work? Where can they follow you? And where can they sign up for your LPV course if they're interested in learning how to build these custom LPVs?
Well, right now I have my website in maintenance. It's about to come in like a couple weeks. It's about to come in soon,
Okay.
couple weeks. And I do have my Instagram, which is Key to FPV, and my YouTube channel, which is Key to FPV. And that's pretty much where you can find me right now on those two pages. And now my website, which is gonna be Key to FPV, is gonna be linked up on my Instagram also. And yeah, my academy will be dropped, I would say before the end of April, and it's gonna have how to build 2.5-inch drone, and that's the one the weight less than 250 grams, so you can fly over people. There's a new rule right now, you can fly over people, transitioning, like not hovering in the popular area. You can fly your drone from one side to the other side. So you need a drone that weighs less than 250 grams. So in the course, you're gonna be how to build those type of drones. And that course is gonna be the 2.0-inch drone, the 3 inches drone, which is gonna carry the full GoPro, and the 5-inch drone, and the long range 7-inch drone. That's the drone that's gonna be covered in the course. And also I'll be teaching how to in that course how to decase the GoPros. I know you can see
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
Here's a
yeah.
GoPro.
Uh-huh.
So this is the 2.5-inch drone. This is kind of
Yep.
small. This weigh less than 250 grams. Well, this one not exactly because it has some extra 3D print. But if you take all the 3D prints apart, like yeah, it does. 250 grams. I will teach how to build that. How to build the 5 inches, which is this. The 7 inches, which is the long range, is a little more big than that. And I will say for around next year, by the end of next year, after FPV grow a little more, which is about to this year and next year, I will be launching how to build like the Cena lifters, like how to decay the black magics, which is I don't see no one doing it right now. And I don't
No,
believe in
definitely
like
not.
any holding. I don't believe in holding like knowledge. I really don't believe in that. If I can do it, I feel you can do it too. Like the cake is for everyone. I just see it that way. I feel
So
like
one last question,
me
Jose. Is there
providing.
gonna be sorry, is there gonna be a pricing structure on the website? So if parents want to go on the website, but they have to pay a certain price to get like certain like modules, or it's like one price for everything? Or have you gotten to that point how you gonna set it up yet?
You mean the course?
Yes, the course.
Yeah, it's gonna be um just one price set up for a
Gotcha.
lifetime access. Yeah. And after when I launch the master class, which is the one comes with the Cena lifter, those person that buy my first course obviously will have some type of discount for the master class like next year.
Beautiful, man. Well, we'll definitely do our part to make sure we get a lot of our kids, a lot of kids we work with in your course because we think it's vital.
Awesome. Awesome. It will be awesome having us also mentioning about it. I do have some type of I don't didn't want to mention it because